Hey, good morning, South Park. How you doing? It was a lovely, lovely weekend. Absolutely beautiful weekend. And then today, Monday, it is going to be about 65, sunny all day. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. Nice 3-day stretch. Hey, I'm just coming here, getting ready to do my lesson here. I'm outside again. Got a nice warm cup of hot chocolate. Still a little chilly outside, but it's feeling good. I got my family up. I got Ob and Mitch. They're doing their work, and my wife's helping them out, and I'll be in there shortly. For today's work, I want you to read Forest and Fisheries in your book. Forest and Fisheries, page 89, 90, 91, 92, all the way to the end of 93. I want you to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Not a hard assignment whatsoever. I want you to just read 5 pages. There's a couple words I want you to make sure you pay close attention to. First one is clear cutting. You will find that word, clear cutting, on page 90. Also, I want you to make sure you're looking for the word selective cutting. You'll be able to find both because both are bolded out on page 90. Another word that's very important is sustainable yield. Not only when it comes to forest, but also when it comes to fishing. Sustainable yield you'll be able to find on page 91. So clear cutting and selective cutting on page 90. Sustainable yield on page 91. Also, I want you to make sure you pay close attention to the word fisheries on page 92 and aquaculture on 93. These are a couple natural resources, fishing or fisheries and forests that we can control if we do everything right. If we do everything irresponsible, we can wipe out a whole species or a whole forest really easy. Make sure when you pay attention or when you're reading about forest, you understand that trees are only renewable when a logging company replaces the trees that were cut down. If they just come in and cut down all the trees and don't replace them, you're not going to have a renewable resources, those trees. It's not going to happen. You have to plant trees for the future. Same thing with fisheries. I want you to think of anytime you've gone out to dinner or you've gone to the grocery store, what's your favorite type of fish? Mine personally, I just like a nice piece of flounder. I know that sounds a little boring. Flounder, I like cod, but if we overfish these, they won't be there in the future. So make sure you pay close attention. Also, you're going to find out a word, aquaculture, and how that came into play. And I got to remind myself, matter of fact, I'm going to write it down as soon as I go inside. There's a type of fish out there called tilapia, and it's a relatively new fish, and I'll explain to you how and why tilapia has become very important to the United States, and how it's a cheap fish. It actually tastes pretty good, but I'm going to tell you an interesting story about it. I enjoyed seeing a lot of you guys on Friday when we had the video chat. Make sure that you're keeping up with all your work. If you have any problems, please call your teachers, or please email your teachers anytime you're having problems with anything. With your work, your math work, make sure you email the math department. Your English work, make sure you email the English department. Social studies and science, make sure you email Miss Laritson and myself. Once you're done with your work, make sure you guys go out and play a little bit, get some fresh air. Make sure you stay 6 feet away from everybody. Make sure you're using your hand sanitizer. I got it all out throughout the house. Make sure you're washing your hands. Do your chores, help out your parents, maybe help cook dinner one night. It's stressful for all of us, including your parents. So make sure that you're helping them out as much as possible. All right. Hey, little Ferguson, you paying attention? Saw your dad eating park on Friday. We were picking up fish sandwiches. I think he was. I know I was for the sandwiches. So I want to make sure I say hello to you and your parents. Everyone, make sure you're just doing the right thing all the time. Hey, on Friday, I asked you to make pollution catchers, which were the paper plates with shoestring wrapped through it, and put some Vaseline on it. I got mine down. I know it's going to be really tough to see, but on yours, you'll see little specks is the best way to say it. It looks like little pieces maybe of rice. Yeah, actually even smaller than grains of rice, maybe little salt and pepper, about the size of those individual salt and pepper pieces. And they're around the Vaseline, and those are actually pieces of pollution. And there's things on here that you really will not be able to see. If we were at school and I can pull out the microscopes, you'd be able to see them. If you have a magnifying glass at home, maybe go ahead and take a look at it, see if you can find smaller pieces of pollution. So, make sure you get your work done. 89 through 93. Make sure you look at the words clear cutting, selective cutting, sustainable yield, fisheries, and aquaculture. Those are the 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the words that I want you to make sure you pay attention to. Those definitions, those words, pay attention to. Things I want you to be asking yourself as you're reading. How are forests managed to become renewable resources? How are they managed to become renewable resources? How does that happen? And how are fisheries and ocean fish and lake fish managed to become renewable resources also? This whole entire chapter is talking about resources we can replace versus resources we cannot replace. Resources we can, resources we cannot replace. All right. Don't worry about anything in the notebook or in the study guide. In a couple days, I'm going to be sending out the answer key, and I'm going to figure out how we're going to do a test here over the computer. I'll probably send something out, or maybe in your Chromebooks you have the answer key, that 1 through 20 that we have saved electronically, the one everyone knows what I'm talking about. I might ask questions, and you have to fill it in over the computer. So listen, get your work done, your science, your social studies, your math, and your English. Help out your parents around the house. Get some exercise, get some fresh air, and I'll see you Tuesday. All right? Everyone stay safe. Hey, anybody have any personal problems? Make sure you reach out to Mr. Jacoby. If you're worried about anything, reach out to Mr. Jacoby. You can reach out to myself. And any other problems, please email me, and I'll always get back to you. All right. Good morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.